What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with some more fantasy football content. Today I am talking the week 2 fantasy football lessons. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Hit that subscribe button if you want to win that fantasy championship. I always post my week 1 lessons today, waiver wire advice tomorrow morning, bright and early, and then you get rankings Wednesday and buy lows Wednesday afternoon. So subscribe for all that. Everything you need to bring home that fantasy football championship. Beat your friends and family. Hit that subscribe button. It's that simple. So let's talk about lessons from week 2. Also, at the quarterback position, honestly, things have just been down in general. We have not seen the scoring, the passing yardage, all of that stuff that we're used to seeing in the NFL at the beginning of the season. Defense, I think it's just a little bit ahead of offense. And also, I think some of it is just, some of the, like Sam Darnold's a starting quarterback now. And he's played well. Like, look at what Darnold did last week, or yesterday. Beat the 49ers 268 and 2, 5 for 32 on the ground. That's awesome for fantasy. Kyler Murray's been fantastic this year. He's been running the ball too as well, which is really nice. 5 for 57, 5 for 59 the last 2 games. 266 and 3 this last game. We'll get to one of his pass catchers in a minute as well. Not a whole lot of notes on the quarterback position. Geno looked solid yesterday. Joe Burrow looked a lot better. So those were some encouraging signs. I think Jaden Daniels, this might even be an opportunity to buy low on him. The offense goes a lot laterally, which you don't love, but he is going to run the ball a lot. He had 10 attempts yesterday as well. Moving on, though, one of the big stories of the week, Alvin Kamara scoring 43 touchdowns, or felt like 43 touchdowns if you were playing him. 43 points, 4 touchdowns on the ground. If you look at the production he's had these first few weeks, it's been pretty fantastic. Expect Alvin Kamara, even against Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City, some of these matchups coming up to be pretty darn good for fantasy football because of the type of volume he's getting, the pass catching, all of that, that's just getting mixed in there. And I'll say this, one of my big lessons from this year is that the New Orleans Saints look good. The Saints' offenses look good. We see them beat Dallas yesterday 44-19. They crushed Carolina week 1. New offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, looked like a lot of the things he's put into effect have been working. One note I want to put on Devon Achane, been super involved to start the season. Mostert's down. I expect him to be a top 10 running back moving forward. With the pass catching numbers that he's been putting up, it's been phenomenal receptions. Numbers that you just absolutely love to see. 7 and 7 each of the last 2 weeks, 22 carries against Buffalo as well. But yeah, you're rolling him out each and every week. James Cook, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Super involved in that Buffalo offense. That offense looks much better than we anticipated in Buffalo as well. But he is super involved. Another lesson, Braylon Allen looks like he is going to be involved with the Jets. He had 2 touchdowns yesterday. Not the most carries, but once they got close, they did start to utilize him. He's a big back. Breece Hall is going to be able to get done regardless, but obviously you want those touchdowns going to him if you're a Breece Hall owner. Rondre Stevenson, another good week. I expect him to continue to be good with the type of volume he's getting, the type of player that he is. Pacheco is down. That's a situation to monitor. Moving on to wide receivers, though, one of the big lessons is Marvin Harrison Jr. He was a buy low this last week, and yes, you should have bought him. He was fantastic. Caught 4 passes for 130-something yards. 4 for 130 and 2. Pretty darn good, if you ask me. They just came out at the beginning of the game, threw the ball, and he just caught absolutely everything, and you were just like, it was awe-inspiring how good he was and some of the plays he made on some of those receptions. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute stud, and you want him on your team moving forward. It's that simple. Moving on, Malik Nabers, another wide receiver rookie that you want in your teams. He had 18 targets yesterday. That's absolutely insane. Turned that in for 10 for 127 and a touchdown. Very involved in that offense. It was a great matchup for him, though. You had to take things like that into account. And who knows how Daniel Jones will be moving forward, but Malik Nabers looks very good this season. Another guy I really want to talk about today, Nico Collins. Guys, he has arrived. He's just a fantastic football wide receiver. Tough matchup in Chicago. Didn't matter. 8 for 135 and 1. 6 for 117 in week 1 against Indy. I don't see him having any problems against Minnesota or Jacksonville coming up. But Nico Collins is a stud that you guys should be hanging on to. He's a locked and loaded top 12 wide receiver rest of the season to me. and you were able to get him at around 2 or 3 value, and this is like I said, a guy maybe should have been going in round 1. With the look of things right now, JSN looked really good, got a ton of targets in week 1. We'll want to see if that continues. Rashee Rice more the same, very involved in that offense. So yeah, a lot of good players there. I want to talk about the tight end position as well. George Kittle, he's looked very good this year. Brandon Ayuk just hasn't been as involved. Maybe that's just him starting slow, missing so much time in the offseason. That's what I kind of anticipate. But George Kittle's going to be good until Brandon Ayuk gets re-involved in that offense. One thing I want to touch about in the tight end position. Brock Bowers has been fantastic. He was a stud in college. He's going to be a stud in the NFL. One of my league winners was Bowers this year. He had 8 targets and 9 targets the last 2 weeks. Turned that in for 58 his rookie debut, 98 this last game against Baltimore. He's that slot receiver for that football team. He's going to be extremely effective moving forward, and you can bet on him. Another thing I want to throw out there. So while some of these teams are looking really good, we talked about the Saints. A team that I'm actively downgrading right now is the Rams. There's so many injuries on that team. I was really big on Kyren coming into the season. I still think Kyren can be good. He's the only healthy guy there right now. But with Kupp being injured, with Puka being injured, with the way the offense has run these last few weeks, not super encouraged by that team. Definitely downgrading some of those options and just the outlooks for the team moving forward. A lot of offensive line injuries as well. That doesn't help. Just want to throw that out there as well. A lot of things we were able to talk about, but not everything is good in fantasy football all the time. That was definitely one of the lessons. And just it looks like there's going to be less scoring opportunities for the Rams these next few weeks. So that's something to take note of. Obviously, we'll monitor the Kupp injury. Puka looks like he's going to miss some time, but Demarcus Robinson is going to be more valuable in your leagues, players like that. And I'll keep you guys in the loop when we talk waiver wires tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button to stick around and watch it. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much.